United for peace and progress. That's the policy the Conservative Party puts before the nation at this general election. It's a policy of onward from success, and is presented to you tonight by the Foreign Secretary, the Right Honourable Harold Macmillan.
Good evening. I want to talk to you tonight mainly about the future. That's what we're all interested in. But I think it's right to say a few words about the past, about the record of Sir Winston Churchill's government. When we came into power 3.5 years ago, things were pretty grim. At home, we were on the verge of bankruptcy. And then abroad, our prestige had fallen pretty low. Well, now there have been quite a spectacular change. Indeed, this change is so great that we find it rather difficult to remember what things used to be like. It's quite an effort to try and put our minds back. But in a minute or two, I want to talk to you something about what we hope to do. But before that, we've got a short picture to show what we have done. Let's look at it together.
As the crowds cheered the election results on the night of the 26th of October, 1951, the whole history of this country was at the point of change. The truth was not clear then. The Labour Party was spreading the fear of mass unemployment. You'll find it in election addresses like Maurice Edelman's. Hugh Dalton and many others said the Tories would slash the social services and lead the country into war. Let me remind you of what has happened since that fateful October. The Socialists are for controls and austerity. But the Conservative policy is incentive and expansion. The Socialist prescription is to cut down and restrict. The Conservatives work for freedom and plenty. Britain strong and free was our election cry in 1951. Strength has come to us over the last 4 years because of our recovery. And freedom has come in many ways. Into the wastepaper basket went identity cards, building licenses, repairs licenses, development charges, most wartime controls, the act to nationalize steel, dozens of forms farmers had to fill up, and the ration book. The Minister of Food, Major Gwilym Lloyd George, celebrated the end of this chapter. He himself lit the bonfire, and young and old alike rejoiced to see the ration book go. In 2 years, he had successfully derationed sweets, eggs, tea and sugar, butter, margarine, cooking fats, meat, gammon, and bacon and cheese. Last Christmas was the gayest and most abundant we have ever known. From everywhere came the same story: more to spend and more to buy. The Co-op knew this all right. They advised their customers, order early. There's a good choice this year. What a contrast with a few years ago, when a part of our small meat ration had often to be taken in 2 pennyworth of corned beef. And we were glad to get it. Now we don't think in terms of allocations, and under the counter is no longer the place where the best goods are kept. Here is the story of progress in a nutshell. Registered customers only, then anyone served. That was the breath of freedom. Now, no space is taken to tell you the shop will serve you. You take your choice. And with the notices, the queues have gone. And they must not return. Although the Socialists said there would be 1 million unemployed under the Tories, we have record employment. And production is up, Earnings are up, savings are up, pensions are up, children's allowances are up, and the nation is spending more on health and education. All these things taken together spell economic recovery and a higher standard of living. Taxes have been brought down, and the last budget completely exempted nearly 2.5 million people from PAYE. Let's have a look now at another improvement: freedom to build. A policy of expansion means we get rid of restrictions and controls and find a new determination to plan for plenty. The result? Almost twice as many homes built last year as under Labour in 1951. And 1 million houses built under the Tories to date. This was not, as the Socialists said, at the expense of new schools. Now the slums are to be cleared away altogether. Here's an example, just off the Canongate in Edinburgh. These children